Hello everyone, it's another review for you today. Got quite a few third party things recently to kind of go over. This one, lovely, of my friend of mine Andy over at Keyboard Warriors to lend it me, as mine is part of the second wave pre-order. I missed the first boat with it because it sold out that fast. Is the Angry Old Man with Cigar complete figure from 11. In English that basically translates to it's the Logan from the Logan movie, with the kind of Hugh Jackman face, and you've got the kind of full costume figure rather than just a head sculpt like we had previously with the Angry Old Man head that the 11 released. This is a full figure, comes in a full box, yeah, so as I mentioned before, Andy's been really kind and lent me his so I can do a review of it sooner rather than later, because chances are when I get mine at kind of beginning of July, I think it is, for the second wave of them, they'll probably already pre-ordered, so yeah, basically now, so I can do a review on this while I've got him, and if you like it, if you like what you see, you can run over to 16kit.com and make your order there. So this is the box anyway. It's still inside. I've not actually opened him up or anything like that. Pretty standard shoebox design. The 11 logo on the front. Black and white picture of some trees. Nothing on the back, and yeah, it's quite simple, but it solved its purpose quite nicely. I'll just tilt the camera down because I don't want anything to fall out when I lift the box off. So take the lid off. Nothing on the inside of the box, it's just black cardboard, but it is very nice, strong, sturdy cardboard. I will say that it's not cheap. No expense has been spared in kind of making this nice and secured. There's a layer of foam over the top. Again, it's quite nice, dense foam, good quality stuff. And there's also a inlay for your figure. It doesn't really come with anything like in terms of a stand or anything like that, so you will have to get one of those separately. But the rest of the figure comes in here. It's got die-cast claws. Again, it's fully kind of costumed up. You don't have to buy any kind of third-party stuff, so it's all made for this figure. And it's got just a protective baggie over his head just to protect him there. But we will get him out in a second and have a proper look. But yeah, that's the actual box itself. Again, really good quality stuff from 11 there. Just from what I've seen, from what I know of him, he doesn't do things by halves, and it definitely shines through, even just in the box and the packaging and things like that. And I like when I went over my review of the Angry Old Man head sculpt, the Angry Logan one, which I've got just here, just off to one side, just to kind of show you and keep switching back to. The quality that he puts out is phenomenal. There's no parallel really in terms of just the quality of the sculpt and the production and the paint and everything. The whole job that he does is absolutely fantastic. So again, well done. Just on in terms of what we've got here for now. We'll get the figure out and have a look at it, and I assure you, you'll be just as impressed when we actually start looking at the figure. Back in a second. So we're back, and I've just gone straight to the head sculpts because it's just that good. Again, Hugh Jackman, it is absolutely 100% that likeness. He doesn't. I don't have a cigar in the movie. I think he snatches one up at one point, but he doesn't actually kind of spark up a cigar. So it's a bit more of a this is the Hugh Jackman Logan, and we're going to make him a little bit more kind of Logan-esque with his cigar and things, but just the detail in him is fantastic. That scar, because obviously in the movie he wasn't healing properly and things like that, so he was staying scarred and things like that, and the continuity's there as well. If you put a kind of side by side of this one in, you see the scars on the side of his forehead and the side of his cheek there too. I still prefer the angry one, which is why I've bought this myself, and I'm going to pop the angry head on it. But that's not to say that this isn't an absolute triumph of a head sculpt either. It's absolutely awesome. You definitely get the impression that 11 likes sculpting Hugh Jackman Logans, because he's churned out a few and they just keep getting better. I dread to think what the next kind of version of it we're going to get. Maybe we'll get an angry bearded one, maybe. But he definitely seems to be having a good time with sculpting these, because he's done a fair few. And also, we've had a few runs of them as well. So when demand kind of peaks, he churns out another load, which is why I think I didn't even see this come out on pre-order. This is how fast this sold out, which I was quite disappointed with, to be honest. And I basically said to Andy over at Keyboard Warriors, like, let me know if one comes up on pre-order, because I'll have one. And lo and behold, last weekend one did come up on pre-order, and it's still up on pre-order now. So if you want one, I think it's $15 for the pre-order, and then the remaining, I think it's $70 or something like that, or it might be $90, and it works out about 60-70 quid basically for the full Logan figure, which is basically, for lack of a better term, really, it's Hot Toys quality. Even just the costume, like the tailoring on this is great. It's got like a little bit of kind of wear and a bit of like weathering and like dust and kind of dirt and grime on the pockets and things. It's very subtle, but just enough to make it look believable, you know, without going overboard. I'm surprised we haven't had you know, an alternate one of these, like kind of with the angry head sculpt and like a bloodied vest coming out, but you know, who knows, you know, we might get another boxed figure from 11 which does that. We might get one with a beard and an angry face that's wearing the suit from the beginning of the movie. There's still a long way that you could take it if you wanted to, and to be honest with you, I don't think he has a reason not to, because these still sell hand over fist. You know, so first thing I would say is, if you want one, get on the pre-order now and make it, because it's not going to last forever, and you might not do a third run of it. So it was a no-brainer for me. I had to have one. If you look a little bit lower down, you know, the tailoring of it continues to be good. You know, he's got just jeans and boots on, but they still look really good. I like the paint job on the wrists and on the hands as well, which have got the kind of the hairy arms going on, which is just a little bit better than just having a generic plastic body underneath it. The clothes are also die cast, and they are really, really sharp, so be careful with them, but they just look believable. So really, really awesome. Love this figure. Articulation wise, I don't want to do too much with it because it's not mine, but you know, it's pretty much the same level of articulation that you get in a gang hood body. So you know, you've got a ball joint across the abs there, you've got a waist swivel and things like that, you've got some good movement in the arms. The costume, again, I've not played with it, but I imagine it doesn't impede any level of movement whatsoever. You know, the joints in it are great. His legs are nice and posable. He's got a double jointed knee, so you can get him right up there if you want to. Ball jointed feet with those boots on too. And yeah, I'm looking forward to switching out my head sculpt and putting the angry one on it. I asked Andy if he'd done the same with his, but he said with the joint being a little bit stiff, he didn't want to risk it. So I'm certainly not going to try that with somebody else's figure. But that's that there. I mean, it's just great with the cigar. Oop. Knock that flying. Yeah, the cigar just, you know, looks absolutely spectacular. Yeah, he's got quite a stiff head on it, so I wouldn't even dream of trying to switch it out on my own figure, let alone someone else's. But I think I'm going to have to try it when mine comes. That's a side by side of them. The angry one does look a little bit bigger on the camera, but I think it's just the beard just makes his face look a bit longer, perhaps, and makes it look a bit gaunter when he's got the beard. But yeah, I like this one better, but that's not to say this isn't an absolutely awesome job. So again, you know, really, really great stuff to see from 11. I'm not going to kind of fast forward to a final thoughts or anything, so I'm just going to kind of tack it on the end of this clip. But yes, if you want one, get onto 16K, get on the pre-order, because it's going to be gone before you know it. I know I put the pre-order down, like I say, and it was the cut-off is the 30th of May, so it's not very long before the 16 cuts these off. And you can't get them anymore. It will be available in July. I'm just checking now, actually, by the way, it is $90 full price. So if you put the $15 pre-order on now, you get charged $75 on the day of release in July. And to say that's 2 months away. I reckon he's got a lot to fill in that time. I reckon there's a fair few pre-orders that have been placed. That's probably why he's put a cut-off date of the 30th of May, because that whole month of June is just going to be slamming these out. There's going to be a lot coming. So yes, get on it if you want one. You know, once again, big thanks to 16 Kit from before, when I got my Angry Old Man head sculpt, which was literally sent from Hong Kong in 3 days to Sheffield in England to me. So it literally came that fast. I've never known the English postal service work that good, never mind international post service. So, you know, big thanks for him to getting me out that quick, and me to receive it by midweek, you know, from the day I bought it. So great stuff there. And again, big thanks to Andy at Keyboard Warriors for lending me his figure. I have also got from Andy, because he was kind enough to lend me his X24, or the clone, if you want to kind of not use the branding on it. So I'll be doing that review very, very shortly. Again, that's another one that 11's done, and the head sculpt is fantastic on it too. So stay tuned. If you do have any comments about this particular figure or anything else, leave it in the boxes below. And as per usual, give us a subscribe and a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.